What's going on, everybody? I hope your springtime is getting better. It's been a long winter. I know a lot of people still having rainy, cloudy days or whatever. But I want to talk about this subject real quick. Bahami Jones or Bomani Jones, however you say his name, always talking about Coach Prime. And one more thing on the weather. I think I saw it was snowing somewhere. And like Michigan, was it Michigan? It was somewhere, and I'm like, damn, it's still snowing in May. Y'all can have that. It's crazy. But let's talk Bomani Jones and his hate for Deion Sanders. First, he goes on CNN after Coach Prime gets hired to Colorado, and he says what he can't do. Basically, saying he can't talk about black colleges anymore. Some type of crazy thing. Then later, he goes on his show that HBO gives him, and he starts talking about Deion Sanders again, saying he went from the blackest of black to sounding like the whitest of white. And, to me, Bomani Jones is a clown. If you look at some of the people he's done shows with, people could say that about him 10 million times over. What I think is weird, though, is that the people that put him in charge of these big shows, HBO and CNN, it kind of makes me wonder, is this the puppet master to just keep us attacking each other? And he's part of that problem. Now, there's sometimes where I say us as black people, we have a mentality where we don't know how to have self-control and love each other and learn how to move on. Everything is a grudge, hate, revenge thing. We don't know how to conduct ourselves. We do have that problem, and I don't have no problem with saying that. But there's some situations, especially these liberal networks that are behind closed doors, they're pulling the strings. Deion Sanders has a mission to become the first black coach to win a college football playoff or national championship at the FBS level. We know the great Eddie Griffin did it at Grambling State at the FCS level. Any of y'all that know sports, y'all know that there's a D1A and a D1AA. There's two divisions in Division 1 itself. Explain that to your girls or your girlfriends if they don't understand that, or your wives. And some chicks are in the sports and they know what I'm talking about. So what he's trying to do is take it to the next level. There are no HBCUs at the FBS level. They're only at the FCS level. That's the amount of funding we got. Lastly, I'm going to say this. The amount of money Bomani Jones has probably given to his quote-unquote alma mater, Clark Atlanta, couldn't touch the amount of money that Coach Prime has put into HBCUs just in a couple of years he got serious about them. And if you really look at it, Shiloh Sanders graduated from an HBCU, and Deion Sanders actually graduated from a small HBCU, which is considered an NAIA school, to get his bachelor's degree. See, Prime started off at Florida State, but then he went to the league. But when he went back to school to get his bachelor's, he got it at an HBCU. So, to me, Bomani Jones doesn't have the one-up on Prime at all. It's just kind of goofy. And people like him and Jamel Hill, it's kind of funny. It's like 10, 15 years ago when they were put on the pedestal and they were given a great job at ESPN, we didn't have all these great content creators on YouTube and all these social media platforms. And the second that they were shown that they were average and that the reason why you got the job is because the corporation just had to fill a void by saying we got to have the one black person on here, now they see that they're not as talented as they thought they were. There's so many YouTube channels, so many, Instagram, so many people with their own websites, black people that talk about sports that are insanely talented, and they got it from the ground up. They didn't need a big media company to put them in front of a camera. They just naturally have it. They're good at what they do. And you see their channels grow and build. And you see people like them, their channels suck on YouTube and other platforms because they're just not as talented as they thought they were. They were given a very privileged job and opportunity. And I'll say this summer, before I get out here, anybody got kids, sorry about the email noise, anybody got kids that's trying to play college football, Coach Prime is hosting 2 prospect camps at 2 HBCU schools. Once again, bringing more money to HBCUs while he's in the Pac-12. How many journalist camps has Bomani Jones had at HBCUs? How many black kids has he got hired? Or is he just one of them dudes that's like most of them, just sitting up there talking trash just to try to sound cool, but it ain't nothing that go with him except a bunch of hot air. So, Prairie View was early June, and then Morehouse is mid-June. Coach Prime's hosting those camps. One of them he's fully hosting, and the other one he's the co-host. Get your kids out there supporting. I guarantee you he bring out a bunch of people and a bunch of money again, helping HBCUs when he's supposed to be at Colorado. I'm out. Y'all have a good spring. Hopefully this summer get better. Peace. And let me correct myself before we get out of here. The great Eddie Robinson. I was flowing this early in the morning. I said Eddie Griffin. We know that's a comedian. The great Eddie Robinson. Peace and love.